every floor has a story. Every painting has a story. Every piece has a story. I think that the real stories that make up this group, I think it's hugely powerful.
Same thing for IWC on Madison, right? You walk in there and you're representing your various lines in different formats and different stories. Our stories are the maisons, are the brands. That's our story.
That's what makes us different than Apple or Google. They don't have that for them. At all.
But very few people know about this story.
Yes.
What we should use to do. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Even us for insight, as for stories of the other maison.
Yes.
Right.
We do the same. I mean, we most people don't even realize our company holds more patents on the car than I think any other company. I mean, we have hundreds of patents. On everything. Like, you know the clock in your car? That's us. Alfred Dunhill created the dashboard clock. No one knows that.
Yes.
Alfred Dunhill created, like, the binoculars to look for cops so he can speed past them. No one knows he created it. Our company was built, our company was built on, like, chaos and anarchy and like, this whole view of sort of saying F you to the cops and breaking the rules in this sophisticated, chaotic way. But no one knows that.
Yeah, they're rebellious.
Because nobody knows our history. Like, that's the thing. People come into the brand and they're excited because they've never actually experienced the brand. But we have so many rich stories to tell.
So that's
the reason people.
That's almost what you start today, because we were pioneers.
Yeah.
All the brands were pioneers in their own domains for many reasons.
Correct.
Yeah, it's the unique storytelling and the experience you can provide within that actually create that sort of new image that people can have your brand of connecting to the history, but in a modern day feel, you know, but in theory.
Gotcha. So, how many, because we're running late already, but I wanted to give you really a chance to speak up. And thank you for being so honest, by the way, I really appreciate it. So, how many summarize, except, you know, that then you want it shorter and less fluffy words, what are the key ideas to keep the shopping list for what's really meaningful and ownable for Richemont as a group, but also applicable to the maison?
Ethics, integrity, craftsmanship, creativity, passion.
Stories, heritage,
Relationship, transparency.
Relationship,
Yes.
yeah.
empathy,
Commitment.
commitment. Okay. If we had a paragraph built on those ideas, you'd feel more comfortable?
Yes.
I'm missing two things on my side. I don't hear enough the clients with the S. So all clients, internal and external. So I don't hear enough around ourselves, what we aspire for our own employees.
Yes.
And also about, because you said something really interesting about the luxury and the fact that it changed for everyone. And it's not anymore about the product itself, it's about the moment we are talking and the moment you spend in the store or when you're home, when you deliver the products. It's the moment that we create in the life of people that is more important than the product itself. And I don't feel that in the text.
Yeah. And you're not talking to Cartier in particular?
No, I'm generally speaking.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, I hear you. Thank you for that. Okay, moving on. Forgive me if I speed up a little bit. Behaviors. So we're going to do kind of the same exercise in a way, but maybe just highlighting first or starting with a discussion on what really stood out and maybe those you felt were most interesting. Even without reading it again, what was your, takeaway? What did you keep in mind after you went through that one? What do you keep in mind there? Behaviors.
I would like to work for this company.
Yeah.
Whatever this company is.
Yeah, I would like to. Sorry,
a little utopian.
I think the word we dare, that stands out. We just talked about it a bit, like we don't take risk, we're risk averse. I certainly feel it every day. As a relatively new guy, but I think just this idea of we dare, I love that first step. No idea is too big, no opinion goes unheard, we welcome all thoughts, we value those who push their point of view forward.
But it's not.
It's not true.
It's not how we operate
Yeah, it's not.
at all, but I like that.
And because
Yes.
and because
You would like it.
here in the U.S. we're more, I think, entrepreneurial.
Exactly.
I have a little bit of difficulty that not that we're doing all those things, those are all great points, but the last few sentences for the group, I still don't get a sense of we're all one, we're all doing this for the group, if you will.
I think to your point, in terms of something to aspire to, that
Sure.
also really resonates.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But the difference between, reality and aspiration is
Yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah.
So did you all put a lot of yellow on the
Yeah.
first one? We there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish, but I did not. No, because our maison is built, our motto is dare to be rare. And even though it's dare to be rare, we are struggling every single day to have a validation on new ideas, daring ideas. And for our boutiques, every time we arrive with new ideas, no. So I love the idea, but it's clearly not what we are. Do we want to be there in the future? Okay, but that's a huge work,
Understood. Okay, what else?
I mean, overall, I like
We
just
care.
some of the words, yeah.
And we trust for me are very important.
So tell me about We Care. What do you want to tell me about We Care?
I mean, we take care about honesty and ethics.
Yes. Any bills on that?
Yeah, I think it's something we can compete on. Particularly being surrounded by all these Fortune 500 quarter by quarter companies, I think the relationships are pretty powerful. And they're a bit deeper than whatever project it is you're working on. So I think that's super powerful.
So you get that sense of relationships in the We Care
Yeah.
paragraph?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
More bills? On that one?
That's good.
Okay. And you also mentioned We Trust.
Trust and respect. This is crucial.
Yeah. I like it very much. I'm not sure the wording is that we're in over
Yeah.
150 countries, but we all share one language.
Yeah.
I like very much the statement itself, but maybe the wording can be a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Certainly the behaviors resonate a lot more than I think the manifesto does.
Yes.
I think it's much more relatable.
Yes. Yeah.
I a little bit struggle with loyalty in the concept, because I'm just wondering how relevant that is anywhere these days. But the rest of it, I think.
I'm struggling a bit with partner. Because it's almost, we try to push every single brand to perform in their own way. And by saying we partner, it's almost like we are in between. We promote we want to be a group that work together, and at the same time we want the brands to compete.
Completely agree.
So I'm struggling with this one.
So you're struggling a little bit with
With the
that idea
partner.
of partnership?
Yes.
Because of the internal competition?
Because it's almost like you want to promote that, and at the same time you don't want them to work together. You don't want to, at the same time you want Richemont to find a solution that will be a one size fits all for everyone. And at the same time you want each brand to be different.
Okay. Okay, fair comment. Any bills or reactions to what's being said?
Yeah.
For me, the we perform is not. It's not that it's not relevant. It's the goal of every single company on earth.
Right.
So it's
Okay.
useless.
Yeah,
We are all here to perform. And
Knowing the integrity of our brands is never for sale.
Yeah,
is something
never
that-
for sale.
And certainly agility, we work with agility and simplicity. Maybe we do, but we're not there.
No.
Okay.
It's not simple, it's not
Never for
agile.
sale, I mean.
Agility.
Yeah, that's very aspirational.
Yeah, but we go home proud. Every day we bring our best to a client and never compromise. That too?
I don't know if I mean, just from talking, we go home proud the first sentence, I mean, I think not everybody here goes home proud. It's just what I've heard, see, know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a struggle for a lot of people.
Okay. Okay. And what about the last one we explored?
Just make a hard stop, replace the comma after creativity with a period. And I would say lose the because we wouldn't be here without it. It's just a statement. We embrace diversity and creativity. It's done.
Okay.
I thought it felt like there was a list of words off to the side.
Yeah.
That somebody tried to just fit in. And it's like, oh crap, we forgot diversity, where do we put it?
Yeah.
You wonder if we explore.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice.
Yeah.
And I think we do embrace diversity, and obviously we need to. But it just feels buried, like under we explore, doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And I go back, like we trust, the definition of we trust, that isn't about trust. I don't know,
Yeah.
it to me feels maybe a little cobbled together.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's right.
Like trust should be about empowering people to do great work, and like the idea of we believe in you to make the right decision, like
Yeah, the transparency.
transparency, right?
Well, the whole thing
Pay
is,
off on that.
yeah.
We explore, but it doesn't pay off on the idea of we explore.
And allowing to down.
I think the titles, we're all on the same
I like the
page.
title.
The wording.
The content.
Yeah, I think trust, everyone feels trust within Richemont, right? But
Right.
the explanation, the lines here are not really.
Yeah. So
expressing.
trust would be more about what then?
I think empowering.
It's empowering,
Empowering.
Yeah.
We trust the people around us, I think. You know, it's-
Empowering who?
Our people.
Okay. Yeah.
which in turn then empowers the experience for the clients.
Right.
Okay.
Like it's about behavior.
Yeah.
Plus, I think we want to instill trust, not necessarily
Right.
have trust, right? We want our clients to trust us, right? We want to instill trust in our clients, right?
Yes.
But I just, the word behavior, I don't know if that's the right word, but I read this kind of like, this is the way we work, or the way we want to work
Yeah.
as an organization.
Yeah. That's how I see
Or
it.
values, or, right.
Yeah, and we can always argue, what this is. Ultimately, it's about, speaking about maybe not just a mindset, but also action. So.
Yeah, there's something, the words, and I agree, the words, the headlines are quite powerful in themselves. And I almost feel like we're diluting the headlines in the descriptions. Because we're putting a particular spin on each of them, when maybe these are things that translate differently in different ways for individuals, and there could be less description and more exploration per person.
Yeah. So tell me, let's try to recreate. Probably going to be limited space for really doing it fully, but let's try. Which ones would be the 4 that we want to keep first of all, in terms of titles? So it would be care, yes. Dare.
Partner,
Partner.
like partner.
Trust.
And trust.
Yeah.
You would keep those 4? Everybody is aligned on that, or would it
Care, trust, what was the other partner?
Mm-hmm.
care, dare, partner, trust?
Well, trust will be part of
Yeah.
everything we do. So you dare because you trust you can. You care, therefore you end up having more trustworthy relationships. I'm just.
No, it's a good point. I mean, better.
Like part of it, like a common ingredient that's needed anyway?
It's needed in partnerships too.
Yeah? Okay, so do we want to add another one instead, or
Well, I think there needs to be
is trust is embedded?
I don't know, if we perform, that's a weird thing to say, but like just this idea of achieving, like we achieve results, like don't know what the right word is, but
Yeah.
exploring is in there, right? Because you're taking brands with lots of history and exploring new ways and new places to do business, new ways of doing business, new categories to create, stuff like that. I
It's
mean,
interesting also in terms of self-learning,
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, it's true.
curiosity.
Yeah, I like exploring. To me, covers a wide
Yeah.
range of from training and development to finding new business, new categories, new businesses. I mean, it's a lot.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, so you want to keep it small?
I would like to. I like.
Yeah. Okay.
Exploration or explore, is that more of the pioneering kind of piece that we thought that maybe we weren't pioneering before? And I think you could very easily move embracing diversity and creativity
Into
under
something
we
else,
care.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
So in care we put diversity, what else do we put?
I think you
put
can-
diversity or inclusion in partner. We usually partner.
Okay, also there.
In terms of our whole approach toward the client, you could put in care too.
Mhm.
That's stuff that's under we perform as it relates to the client, you could put under we care.
Yeah.
I think that we perform, that's your job.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you come to work every day, you know,
Yeah.
that's why we chose what
Yeah.
we chose to do. We,
Yeah.
you know, it's.
Yeah. So what is really important in We Dare? Because you have consensus on this. What would be in your own this behavior?
Kind of like the words that are there for that one.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except for maybe we could improve, but
Okay.
I think it's just overstated.
yeah.
And no opinion goes unheard. I think a lot of them do.
Yeah.
I think it's just overstated. Again, I think it's aspirational, it's a good concept, but
Yeah.
it's not, no organization operates like that. It's impossible.
Okay.
It's overstated. Just gotta
Okay.
package it differently.
Okay, so what's really interesting is no ideas to
Nothing
be,
would
we
get
welcome
done.
all thoughts and values, those who put the point of view forward. Okay.
I mean, there's something I don't want. Well, I do disagree a little because I think the no opinion goes unheard. I agree it's a little overstated, but it's a pretty powerful thing. And that is, for me, that's actually where the inclusion fits because if everyone can bring their full selves.
Yeah, I think you just gotta package it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I think we're all aligned that it's really just the,
Only
yeah.
people here can have an opinion.
Yeah.
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 But
Can't operate that way.
would that be
Yeah.
more under we care than we dare?
Yeah, I agree, Stuart. It kind of goes hand in hand with diversity and inclusion, right?
It's more a matter of respect
It's not
than.
about
Well, I personally see it as dare, and the reason is that it takes courage to. Actually takes courage to put an idea out. This might be stupid, but X.
Yeah?
But that's an idea,
Yeah.
not an opinion,
Okay.
right?
Or maybe no idea.
Yeah, well, I think the last part of that clearly takes courage, right? It's, we value people who are willing to put their feelings forward.
Okay. So I take the word courage as well. I take idea maybe instead of opinion. Okay. In We Care, what are the key words that you see here that you want to keep and that you'd like to add?
On the keep for me, empathy, ethics,
Yeah.
open and honest.
Yes.
There's nothing about sustainability anywhere.
Yeah.
No, there
Yeah.
isn't.
It's a little disturbing.
Yeah?
More in the manifesto than, no?
Yeah, but even there.
Even
I
there
don't know
was-
that it's there.
yes.
Given where we are today, and also when you even get new recruits, they all have very good questions about what we do from a sustainable standpoint, and we do a lot. I mean, we they're baby steps, but we're doing things, whether
Yeah.
it's in the workplace or different brands are doing different things.
Oh, absolutely.
We should have something about sustainability
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
our values or behaviors.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that could be under care.
Okay.
Mainly if we want our claim to be we craft our future, or crafting our future, whatever future is about sustainability. This is
Yeah.
Yeah.
a given now.
Yeah. Gotcha. How could you make this sustainability idea ownable in your way? What is it? How do you do it that's the Richemont way?
that's important.
Yeah.
No, it's, I mean, it's,
So it's in terms of, people's attitude in general, yeah?
I mean, to start, we are selling products that are timeless normally.
Yeah.
They are not technology products that you throw in 3 years, 3 months.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the
okay,
first thing.
okay.
Well, it's like we care about our people and our planet.
How about creating a new one, and this one's in there. I'm going to dare to add maybe a bad idea, but we preserve. You could have preservation of the past and the historical piece we preserve for our future, and tie in the CSR piece, the sustainability piece to that.
Yeah,
I mean, just keeping with the we blank.
I mean, whatever the words are, if it's that, or if it's like we care about our people and our planet, or we
And our clients.
good, or something like that.
Yeah,
Care
we don't
for-
travel a lot.
Sometimes less is more. We care for our people, for our clients, for our
Kind
planet.
of like what you did at Nike with athletes asterisks,
yeah.
right? You could do, our people asterisks, and
Right.
Mother Earth or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You could
Yeah.
throw
Be
whatever
very
in you want.
holistic there, yes,
Yeah.
and specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, understood. Okay. So, takeaways for me, help me understand the takeaways on this page of the behaviors. What do we want to be? How do we want to stand out, as contributors to this organization? What do you want to be? How do you want to behave? You want to be daring people? You want to care?
Yeah.
You trust?
Trust.
You want to include the environment?
Trust and
Feel-
respect. Respect is another.
Respect. You respect. Can I ask you to add something? As such, maybe focusing on the titles, which I understand you prefer, versus some details of the content. Can you rank them individually?
I would
1
try-
to 6. 1 to 6. 1 is your favorite. Just to have that. Put a big number, on it or whatever. Okay? Yes, done?
Yeah.
So before we move on to the next page, I want to understand the connection between this and the manifesto. Help me, tell me what, and we had some very rich takeaways, right, from the discussion on the manifesto. And you're giving me lots of very rich insights as well on the behaviors. What's the connection?
Manifesto is the outcome of the actions that are
Yeah.
our behaviors.
Exactly. Specifically, in terms of actual...
So we follow the behaviors as actions on a day-to-day basis, which then guides the manifesto to what,
Yes,
aspirationally, what it should be for us all.
totally. Specific. In what?
But both
You- you
behaviors,
concrete example.
but both behaviors and manifesto, I think, should be reworded.
Yeah? I get
For
that as
some
well.
way, it's like, manifesto is the vision and behavior the mission.
Yeah. And to be clear, I understand the logic. I'm asking specifically in terms of content.
Yeah.
What connects? Or what would you like to connect? To see connected?
Again.
Well, I think I'd like the mission statement to be a much sharper vision of where we're going. And then the behavior, quote unquote behaviors, are the enablers that get us there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the connection,
Okay?
it's the click down.
Yeah, so let's do the game. In the manifesto, we kept
You're looking for what?
4 ideas, yes, actual content. So we kept heritage, we kept history, or stories,
Craftsmanship.
craft,
Client experience.
Ethics.
Ethics,
Ethics.
integrity.
Integrity,
Trustworthy relationship.
Empathy.
trust. So, now, what does this take us, what connects with what you like in the behavior?
Yeah, we care, we trust.
We dare, I think, can connect to craftsmanship and heritage.
Yes.
And heritage as well.
I think for me, the umbrella we reveal the exceptional could work for people, could work for product, could work for lots of things.
Yeah.
And I like a lot this idea of we reveal the exceptional.
Okay.
We could use it for lots of things.
Yes.
Yeah, the connection to people, I think,
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I think
as a newcomer, or as a potential newcomer, to hear someone say, you're going to join an environment where you can really excel and we will help you reveal your exceptional
Okay.
abilities. I mean, that's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Take care.
Yeah.
So, we reveal the exceptional. How do we translate this into behaviors? If we use some of this.
The explore.
Because we explore,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me,
We care.
it's,
we care.
Yeah.
all of them.
We dare.
All of them.
Almost all of them.
Yeah.
So you authorize
And we
to that.
create, you know, we,
Say that again?
You authorize to that. That's maybe the missing part for the
Yeah.
revealing the
Allow.
exceptional.
Allow. What do you want to allow us there?
I mean, everything. I mean, you have the right to fail in a certain way
Mm.
that we don't have today. I mean, it must be something that will work worldwide tomorrow morning, for sure.
Okay.
There's also a connection, I see, between this concept of we explore and we are crafting the future with our, and it's not in that first, but if you take that as a headline, the idea of we're building on our Maison's heritage and history and creating a future with that connects very much with we explore.
Yes.
For me.
Yeah, I sense that explorer is important actually.
Yeah.
That's also, you know, the bridge towards the future, and so it's really, you talk a lot about heritage, but then, you know, where do we take it?
I mean, maybe to support all that, maybe we should have the word risk somewhere in the behaviors that we accept risk. Because we talk about daring and doing new things and innovating, but we're very risk averse. You know, maybe it would help, I think, to your point, right?
Yeah.
Extremely conservative.
Yeah. And talk.
Very
More
Swiss.
test and learn.
Yeah, kind of, right? Yeah, risk, okay, come on. Don't never use that word, right? But they use it. No, I'm saying, but if it goes up with all risk, no.
Oh, but the funny part is if you don't risk, you risk to lose everything. So,
Exactly. Not taking any risk.
Yeah. And that's been a consistent also feedback you're giving me now. So you have an appetite for it, right?
Yeah.
You want it.
Clearly.
I mean, all the newcomers have an appetite for that. If they join and they understand that they have to basically for the next 10 years do what we ask them to do and not do anything else, they won't stay basically.
So you think also it's key to attract talent?
Right.
We're talking about.
Oh, yes.
Of course. In general. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, did you tell me everything you wanted about behavior? Can we move to? Yeah, we have it?
Yes.
Okay, so tagline, it's actually really one, right? We craft the future. So how did you understand this tagline?
A melding of both the past and the future. So the word craft, I instantly thought of the brands pretty much from a heritage, craftsmanship, instantly. Craft, you know, and clearly that's the metaphor, right? And the future is what we're striving for. So the melding of past and future puts us in our present, where we're trying to work from our present and move forward. I sort of like it. I could see that as we craft the future as a tagline for the organization overall. You know, I mean, what is Rolex's tagline? What is Patek's tagline? Right? They're instantly kind of recognizable. You know, it's you're not buying the watch today. You're renting it for your next generation or whatever that is. I think that there has to be something that is a driving, quick catchphrase, tagline that sort of puts us on that.
Okay.
I think connecting the craftsmanship is important.
Yeah.
Okay, more reactions.
It feels too broad to me. We're crafting the future, like, that's a pretty bold statement, right? It's, the future's it's a broad term. You think about Lexus's tagline, it's the endless pursuit of perfection. And it's inherent in their products, right? It's very clear because their products are number one, they don't break, right? So it's very clear in their tagline, it fits with who they are and what they do. Crafting the future, it seems so broad to me. We're a luxury company that makes watches and jewelry and, fashion accessories. We're crafting the future. The future's it seems too broad to me.
Okay, more reactions.
I
I'm
like
happy
the
to have
we.
your perspective.
I like the we that
Yeah, me too.
gather everybody
Yeah.
under this term. So it's interesting. It's our clients, our partners, our employees, everybody.
Much more engaged.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's engaging, yes?
Yeah.
It's encompassing, all encompassing?
I actually took on the second part where which variation, I actually like the one without the word we.
Yeah.
I put crafting our future because one, it's you're not saying the future, which is a very, it's our future that we work on.
Yeah.
And crafting is just more in the act of actually doing it,
Yes.
as opposed to saying we craft the future. I just like, it shows that you're just saying crafting our future. It's very specific, it's very short, it's very.
More to the point.
Does that help you, Larry?
It's the one I selected.
Yeah.
Because it's our future, so it's more limited to what we do, right? Versus we're crafting the future. Well, the future's a lot of different things for a lot of different people.
Okay.
It's too broad.
Help me understand first, so, excuse me, just 1 minute, but help me understand who in general feels engaged with the idea of the tagline. Not speaking of the specific expression yet. Who engages with it? Who agrees it's a good one? In terms of the idea.
Yeah.
As
I
a
like the tagline
Yeah.
just in general.
That one.
Not specific.
Not having one. I think having one, you all want one. That one.
As a
one.
Richemont employee,
Yes,
it's helpful. I do think that it may end up sending a mixed messages for some of our brands that already have their own tagline or have their own mission statement that is germane and specific to them.
Yes, and I don't think that would replace that,
No.
right?
Okay.
It becomes
This is a
more
Richemont thing, right? I think it's a good point, Scott. This is for Richemont, though, right?
This is.
It would have
Yeah.
Richemont, just craft the future. Right?
Richemont crafting our future.
So maybe we add
Because
Richemont.
it would be locked up. I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't use it without the word Richemont above it.
Yeah.
Right.
And the tagline needs to be a call to action. So I was stuck on the word we, because it's like. That's why I went weird, because I say crafting is, it's like, it's an actionable word. Yeah.
Richemont crafting our future.
But it's very internal, right? It's internally focused. It's not.
See, I don't see it that way.
Yeah, I do though.
Yeah,
I think it's very internally focused. When it doesn't speak to what we do or anything, it's too broad and internally focused. That's my view.
You wanted to.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see it a little different. I mean, these are all perceptions, but We Craft the Future really resonated for me, and for a couple of reasons. One is, I think it's active and intentional. Like, we're actually designing it rather than the victim of it. And I think of the future as just actually a period of time, not necessarily the world. So the way I see it is, like, we, which is a collective, I thought was quite powerful, are intentional about creating our own destiny into the future.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're using craft actually is something that we can say we own, not exclusively, but we do own as a group. It's something that's really at our core.
Yeah.
That's why it resonated with me.
Yeah. How about you?
I was originally on Craft the Future, but the fact of being in action and contributing every day, crafting our future, and still having fulfilling with the hour.
And the idea within itself, do you engage with it?
it's inspiring. It's inspiring. Because it means you each have ownership if you're creating it. And you can perceive it in your own way.
And the crafting piece, the ing, tells everybody we're in the process thereof. Not like we have, crafted and we're already there. We're in the process of.
Yes,
It's like action oriented.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, is it a good starting point? Whichever way we fine tune it, is it a good topic? I'm not super clear at this point about
That's
your
the word
opinion.
craft. I'm stuck on the word craft. Like maybe I just grew up with a crafty mom, but the word craft is super soft, and I don't know if it translates in the same way, just in my West Coast mind. We were having the reveal the exceptional conversation a minute ago. Like,
I think that's a better tagline.
that is a tagline.
That's the tagline.
Richemont.
We reveal the exceptional. It speaks to what we do,
About
too.
the product, it's about the brand.
And it's less broad because the future is the future. It could be whoever, Ford or GMC or whatever.
Yeah.
Or,
Speaks specifically to what we do.
Well, it's just
crafting the future.
That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
Reveal the exceptional.
Yeah. I know.
I don't know. I get
Just for the record, crafting moved to reveal the exceptional.
Good luck with the recommendation.
Makes me think of Patriots.
Well, except anytime you use your word exceptional, Patriots kind of synonymous.
Oh,
boy.
Robert Kraft.
Oh, boy.
I'm in agreement with you, Stuart.
Lock up your rights now to that.
Well, I think, that's maybe just the right one, but
So the truth is, I don't know at all how much flexibility we have on it.
But Darren,
I don't
that's,
know if it's been approved somewhere
Yeah.
or not.
but it should
Maybe
be.
maybe in a church.
In which, if it has, maybe it's about finding the form of an expression that makes most consensus.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In a microcosm, that could be some of the issues here at Richemont.
Yeah.
That this has been a lovely conversation of business leaders who really think that they're tuned into crafting our future or revealing the exceptional, but maybe we're not.
Okay, that's not what I meant, but I just want to be, okay. But, and I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I'm just still trying to work with what, I've been given to work with.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and that will be which expression makes the most, not just makes the most sense, but it's most engaging in the end among those three options, regardless of the potential, bills or issues, if any, that we might have on the actual.
If we as a group say we reject the question and we want to say reveal the exceptional.
That's.
We reveal the exceptional. Yes.
I'm in. Anyone else? Don't say anything because we're being recorded. Show of hands. We're gonna dare. We're gonna dare.
Yeah.
So what's the question? Whose fingers up for what?
There was a motion made by an anonymous person in the room with an Australian accent who said we reject all, and it should be not A, B, or C, but D, being
we are going to craft our future.
by revealing the exceptional.
How about we craft the exceptional? Okay. Okay, no, but seriously, is it a no-go? Would you have issues if it's one of these?
I would, I think I would have an issue. I don't like it, as I mentioned. I think that's not our core competency. We're not building the future where it doesn't speak to what we do.
In terms of U.S. culture, you have a point that crafting is very crafty. I might be doing something with my mom on the weekend.
Right.
And might not actually have the level of elevation and exceptional that you're trying to implement.
Right. Yeah.
And
Right.
it's very specific to the U.S.
Yeah.
Like it's important to
Right, but craftsmanship doesn't connotate that.
No.
Because it has to do with what we do, right? Craftsmanship has to do, the word comes from, everything that we've done historically and how
Yes.
we built our brand.
That is okay.
So it's a good word.
Yes.
And it gives an idea of also ownership, like you said, it's like we're shaping up our future. There's no formula for that. We will, craft it our way. So in that sense, I think it's a powerful, catchy phrase. But to your point, I mean, in the U.S., the meaning is level,
It's close also, I don't know if it's Chanel who say we don't follow trend, we create trends, or I don't know if it's Chanel or Hermes, but it's kind of, that when I read that, we craft the future or crafting our future, that's what resonates with me, is that we don't necessarily follow the trends, we create our own trends in some way.
Yes, so at least there is that ownership.
There is something around that I like, maybe the words on that.
Yeah, we do the excitement is pretty good too.
What's really ownable, what's recognizable as truly Richemont in these topics we're discussing? Whether it's we craft the future or we reveal the exceptional, how can we make sure we recognize it's from us?
I like that we reveal the exceptional because it speaks to what we do. When you think about our products, they're unique, they are truly exceptional, right? It's a great word to describe what we do.
And the fact that we are proud.
You don't have to get into the craftsmanship because it's inherent in the statement, right?
It's there. You understood that there's a lot of craftsmanship that made it exceptional.
You don't need to say it, it's kind of redundant, right? Just like we don't need to use the word luxury. It's already inherent in everything we do.
And in the meantime, we acknowledge we are not pioneer, etc., but we take time to do things right, which is really us. We are perhaps not the first, but at least, when we do it right.
Yeah. And I guess revealing, right? Revealing every brand here pretty much does. Like you guys do major events where you reveal your new collaboration, your new collection. Cartier does the same thing. Watches all do the same thing. Fashion accessories does runway shows, revealing it for the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of that revealing the exceptional products that the company does globally.
Yeah.
And it speaks to our employees.
Yeah,
It speaks to our employees too, right? It's got a two,
Yeah.
It's broader.
It also speaks to the talent that we hire.
It's part of the description of the employees are diamond in the roast, and we are
Polishing.
cutting,
Yeah.
hiring.
No cutting.
Okay, all of this is understood. So, two more things to do. The first one is a general conclusion on what we've assessed and enriched together. And then just a final discussion on a different topic, actually. So to conclude, help me get the essence of our discussion. Still, respecting each individual in the room, specific, perception, because we don't need necessarily to really have an agreement of everything. Yeah, I guess food is coming in soon. Yeah, just 10 minutes, please. Help me summarize the takeaways. What do you want me to get out of this room with from you? About the manifesto, about the behavior, about the tagline, about what you want to stand for?
Well, I think we captured the key things from the manifesto that I think we all believe should manifest itself in the ultimate document or whatever that we have. But I think some overarching comments that I think we all agreed on was that it's way too long. It needs to be pulled in. It needs to be tighter. And I think that'd be a good starting point.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of things that are inherently good about everything we everything we read here. It just needs to be brought in.
More effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
what are the key messages you want to see? Topics, messages.
I think we talked about heritage, client experience,
Yeah. Most of the taglines were right on point.
integrity.
Building the future based on our heritage.
Yeah.
I think something that hasn't specifically been mentioned that we did talk about and agree on was the sustainability or the corporate
Yeah.
social responsibility piece. That should somehow or another lead its way into the overall manifesto or behaviors or both.
Yes.
And of course, the strong, multiple positive connotations of reveal the exceptional. And the other thing that I would say is I'm hearing in the room pretty strong agreement on this exercise. Like, having this for the group is something that is needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
correct.
you're engaged, huh?
Yeah.
It matters.
Correct,
Yeah.
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 It matters.
Yeah.
I can,
For many of us, we've been looking for this for a while.
yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Well, at least that's good news.
Yeah, oh, no, absolutely, absolutely.
What do you think you really own as a group, as an organization, that LVMH doesn't, that, you know, the Kering of the world don't?
How we differentiate ourselves currently, or what we aspire to
Currently,
do?
and in terms of where you want to go, what do you want to push? What do you want to...
I mean, I would kind of start from the product perspective, actually. I think the high jewelry,
It's so unique.
we own it.
Yeah.
And the experiences, to your point, Thierry, the experience of not only the interaction, but going through the process of discovering and purchasing, owning, clienteling, the piece itself, like just the level of artistry in the piece, I think is something that we just own.
Mm.
Yes.
I think we own, craftsmanship and
Yeah, uniqueness and
heritage.
yeah.
Heritage,
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah. Okay.
At the moment, I mean, I will continue to build on the moments. I mean, we are part of the life of to celebrate the best moments, and sometimes it works, but most of the time celebrate the best moments of your life, my wedding or birth.
And do you think as a group, not just...
Yes, I mean, most of the brands are participating in that moment of the life of the people. So yeah. You offer a pen, you offer a watch, you offer a bracelet, you offer something in a special moment of the life of the people. And even the most rich people remember when they receive some product.
Yeah, it's an
So,
emotional connection, sentimental.
Yeah. And actually, Richemont as a whole, if you look at every group, I mean, there's nothing we can't offer any human being for their entire life, except for like, animal products or something like that. But I think we even own a gun maker also. It's like you literally can find something for anybody within any of these companies.
Cufflinks, suits, right?
Yeah.
Sounded like a sales pitch there for a second.
Those like...
We knew where it was going.
So actually, when you raise another point, in the U.S. we have to explain what we do, we have to explain the organization we work for a little bit more, maybe except when we're directly involved in the business. But what makes you most proud of working at Richemont overall?
Good question.
That you're telling your friends that, and maybe it's pride or maybe not exactly pride, but you get my question, right? Is what are you happy about? What makes you come to work? Like,
The two things that I say to people I talk to is clearly our brands. There's a lot of pride in our brands and our products, right? It's clear. All of our brands are top brands, right, out there in the marketplace.
On what level?
On what level? I think
like what sub-brands? What do you mean by that?
Well, you'll take our jewelry brands. They stand out above all other jewelry brands, right? They're at the top of their game for sure. And then you look at our watches, although they may not have the same brand recognition, in and of themselves, those watches are exceptional, right? So maybe a Rolex is better understood, but it's not necessarily a better watch, right? So, although we don't have the same brand recognition, I think there's still a lot of pride in what we do have because we know what goes into making those watches, right?
Okay.
And I not to leave out F&A, it's a smaller part of our business. In addition to our brands, I think the thing that creates pride is our culture, right? I think we've all worked at other places, right? So we all have a kind of a benchmark to when I look at our culture internally, the way we care about our employees and the amount of time we spend investing in our employees and our clients, it's not the same everywhere. I think it is a differentiator. We have a very, very positive culture here.
Yeah.
What I would add to that is that when we're telling the stories to a friend or someone how it is to work at Richemont, I think that I would add to the part of the brand is the passion that the brand that brands have for their products and how they're committed to it. To talk to someone from any of the brands here, they are so committed and they love what they do that I think we, this gets, of course, influences us and get us to try to do a little bit more. That's significant. And the other thing I think is the culture or the trust within Richemont that we, you build around yourself with people in the region, with the brands and the people, overseas. That I think it's really unique to Richemont. You don't find that anywhere you go.
I would further that by expanding on it by saying the commitment piece is crucial. Employees committed to Richemont as a whole, Richemont committed to the employees as well. Look, we're big and bulky, and sometimes it's hard to get hired after 5 interviews or whatever. But when you're in, and you're part more of a family. I mean, we all spend probably more time at work than we do with our own families. And there's a reason why people stick around for that. The relationships that you can build, the freedom of creativity, the freedom to be, to be, felt as if your thoughts and your ideas matter. The commitment is big, I think, for that. I get a sense maybe with our quote competitors, the LVMHs, the Kerings, you get a lot of people hopping around in and out. And we have turnover, no question. But there are some underlying, maybe understated values about the company that make people committed to it.
I think there's incredible privilege in being involved in stewarding a legacy.
You mentioned legacy before too,
Which can, I ask myself this question, and I've heard some really, what I think are kind of vulgar things, like, we make people feel good about themselves by being more pretty. I react to that. I'm like, seems a little vain. But when I think about the fact that one of our maisons is older than this country in some respects, and we have the responsibility to take that, for several generations into the future. To think that somebody trusts us to, our majority shareholder trusts us to do that, that's incredible, I think.
Lovely.
If I can add,
one more.
For me it's crucial working in Montblanc, the loyalty of the clients, and we are able to create a strong relationship and very intimate, especially with collectors when it comes to writing.
Yes. Okay, thank you for all that. Very rich, very inspiring for me, and also I'm sure for them to continue being. So the final topic is a little bit of, but it also answers one of your questions from before. It's actually communications. Okay, once there is alignment on what this content should be, what are the right channels? And so this is more of an open, 8 minutes conversation about the channels that you think are relevant for the business. What channels do you use for your businesses? How accessible are they? Just to also provide a little bit of guidance to the team in Paris about, what this could look like, and also the partnering agency over there.
I mean LinkedIn and Glassdoor? Or
Say that again?
LinkedIn, Glassdoor?
Okay, yes. So more for internal things, or?
But not only, I mean, it's external, like for the employees.
Okay, yes, sorry, that's what I meant, exactly. Okay.
The question, just so that I understand, is
Yeah,
where are we going
it's
to
about
move?
questions.
The messaging around this?
Let me decompose it, you're right.
Okay.
So first is, what channels do you use for communication? Both.
Town halls,
Twitter,
The website.
Yes. Yammer, website,
Emails.
yes.
I think town halls, if we were starting to go to a point where we would communicate this out, this might be something where you might want to do it live.
Yes.
Now, to communicate with external clients, or, the Richemont website I don't think is up for, to put things there. I think it's eventually will be rewritten to post that manifesto or any other thing to encourage
Although
candidates.
newspapers really are dead and or dying, but some sort of a streaming ad campaign, PR campaign for Richemont, you know, that utilizes the tagline, I'm not saying at the Super Bowl, but somewhere where you get a big bang for your buck. I think, you know, from the Cartier brand, the advertising that we've seen on television has been especially impactful.
Yeah.
Where you could utilize that on a worldwide basis within market to market.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, just name recognition alone and linking the Richemont name with the brand names, I think would be huge.
What is most intuitive for you? Intuitive, easy to leverage?
Yeah, for me, it's actually discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It can take a lot of work to organize, but
Yeah.
I actually think kind of a cascading discussion somehow facilitated.
Yeah. I heard town halls. How often do you organize town halls?
We have, Alon has one once a quarter.
Okay.
So it was your intent, I was trying to interpret where this was going, whether, thinking about how we roll this out once it gets finalized, whether it was an external communication you were looking to do or an internal one. I said town hall because just internally, I would think we would do it internally before we do anything externally.
Yeah.
It seems like a great forum because people are hearing it from, you know, the folks that are really leading and supporting the message, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's always powerful when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think to Stuart's point, you know, once you get it out there like that, then it leads to the kind of the follow-on discussions, and you might be sitting with your teams and getting their reaction to that, and you know, does that help? Because one of the resounding feedbacks we've been getting for probably at least a year and a half I've been here is people feel very unclear on the message and what is it, what do we stand for, what are our values, what's our mission statement. That's been a pretty resounding comment for quite some time. I would think everything we're doing here is trying to help us get over that, right, and get to the place we want to be. And I think just sharing that, you know, through a town hall would seem to really get after that.
Right. What do you think your people, your folks in each of your teams, what do you think is the most interesting type of information that they look for as far as the group is concerned?
Stuart? It's usually people matters.
No, it's a question for everybody.
I think we want people to embody the whole topic. You know, we could use I don't know, for example, the Christmas party or summer party, and use it as the main story of it. It's like reveal the exceptional. You know, last year it was the ski. Okay, fine. We all came with beanies and things like that. But if you use reveal the exceptional, everybody has to think about it and try to see how you can immerse yourself in this story.
Yes.
And share it, because I agree with you that people is probably the main one of the main thing to communicate around that. If we don't recognize ourselves in this claim, nobody will use it.
And I appreciate the ideas for you know, future implementation or embedding of these elements. But I'm also curious about currently. How is it working?
How does it, to Larry's point, I mean, I think if what people are looking for, the information they're most often looking for is more operational. It's either like something I need about my employment experience, or it's like information about like who do I talk to for this, and that's usually all through the internet. In the internet, we also do kind of advertising, for want of a better term. There's articles and those sorts of things. My perception is that there's a lot less eyeballs on the kind of articles through the internet, and when if it's push communication, it tends to, I think people receive it much more through more traditional means like email, increasingly on Yammer. But if it's where I want to find out something, they usually go to the internet to find out.
What do you all think? We're you know, not assessing any particular, you know, person or team on that. But how would you currently describe the communication style?
Somewhat traditional, I would say. I mean, I think Yeah, certainly formal, but traditionally, we have an intranet site, we use email heavily, right?
Yes.
We have team meetings, we have town halls. I think nothing that we're doing is unorthodox or out of the ordinary.
Yes. In terms of frequency, in terms of transparency, in terms of...
It was, well, you know, again, dating back the last 18 months, I think there was a little bit of a knock on the communication, and we spent time trying to solve for that, if everyone remembers, where we spent some time figuring out what's a better way to communicate, what are the different types of communication styles.
Okay.
Out of that actually is where the town hall came out of.
Okay.
You know, that was something that came out of that process.
Okay.
I mean, I would say 95% of the communication I receive is from IWC. It's from my brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very little communication from,
From Richemont specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
or through the Richemont channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Wellness Week, I guess that's the building actually. But,
So more the, like the...
Yeah, right.
The accessories name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I may ask you what you're saying, around this table right now, you have more of the senior or executives, which probably have more exposure to Richemont when you talk about a brand.
Mhm.
The exercise you'll have this afternoon was much lower down. They're probably, the only time they talk to people is for very operational points.
Yeah.
I do not think that you're probably going to have less of a permeation of information,
Yes.
and they will not feel like they're part of Richemont. And I might be
Okay.
wrong when I say that, but I don't, it's my personal experience of just the exposure increasing as you go up, but at the bottom, they don't,
There's not much.
I
I
think
don't think they'll feel like they belong to a big group.
Okay.
My team would say they're part of IWC.
Yeah.
You know, they're not part of Richemont.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they are, obviously.
Yeah, but they don't see themselves
They don't see
that.
themselves
No.
because I don't know if they see the benefit to that.
Yeah.
And I wonder, in Richemont, you know, in the team, how they,
Mhm.
Yeah.
And in terms of tone, and that will be my last question, tone of communication, what do people react most to? You know, I don't know, humorous, lighthearted, you know, very formal, or whatever. You know, visual, written, you know. What speaks most to people?
you try the video, you know, those pre-recorded in the banner,
Yeah.
and you could click, like, for example, the interview between Nicolas Voss and Jérôme,
Yeah.
like, a lot of people watch that, they just wanted to see.
Mm.
Or bite-sized short videos where you learn a little bit more of the personal side of people, like the SAT small interviews from last year
Okay.
were interesting. I mean, a lot of people watch them just out of
Yeah.
curiosity.
Interesting.
And
Right.
the-
So there were mini interviews, there were videos
I can only speak for the team
that you saw, that you know.
Mhm.
I think people in general just need visual stimulation more.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
nowadays, the latest statistics just say that most people's attention span is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not- it's 3
If
seconds.
it doesn't have a picture, it doesn't get read, yeah.
It's literally a few seconds.
less than a
And so, yeah, it's less than a gold stitch. It really is. It's like 4 seconds or 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you, if
You're on the low end of the range.
If you're publishing something that they have to read, listen, everybody at a certain point gets all their news and information in 120 characters or less now. They're not going to read past 2 or 3 sentences, and if they do, they're skimming most of it, and I
Yeah.
guarantee you they won't get to the end.
Yes.
Because they're going to get bored or tired of something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? So videos, pictures,
Yeah.
humor, things like that will keep them engaged and interested.
Okay.
A bit less formal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Would be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're done. A huge thank you. I know it's a lot to give Florida with not much prior notice. So many thanks. Trust me in doing my best in promoting your comments. It's all in their hands, you know, from now on. But I will definitely commit to this. And I've had a very interesting time with you. So thank you.
Yeah,
very
thank
much.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. So food is coming in case you want to drop something just on your way out. She is at the door. Thank you very much.
We leave these with you, do we?
Yeah, please leave me everything for me. I need to scan them and share them anonymously again. You can leave them on
complicated paperwork. I will just come and collect that.
You made your way back from Paris, okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Thing I took was the, Sunday.
Oh, wow.
I mean, they're gonna know.
Yeah.
What time do you get home?
Less than a year.
Yeah, mine too. I'll less than a year. Okay.
Let's say confident.
I think he's
Anything longer than that, that's a little long,
It
right?
was a pleasure. We love
You don't
your-
get to do these conversations enough. I know.
Well, especially with, strong opinions, but that's okay.
Can we take 5 more minutes? Just on, do you have 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen you.
I've seen you. It's like the
But where
little
was-
meeting.
I
It's
know.
like every time.
Some kind of initiative.
Yeah.
The soft dollars,
Yeah, the business extra points or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Because, the whole thing came up like last minute.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a conversation that doesn't need to be recorded.
It should be.
But yeah, it was good.
I don't know, but, this guy.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
We're gonna have some lunch set up for those of you who want some.
You personally pay for it? No,
Oh, okay, oh, okay,
no.
all right. Oh, okay, all right.
No, but I'm good.
I turned it off.
You did? Yeah, so, and a quote to my little